Hello, guys, and welcome to my brand idea called PHT. Okay, now basically, PHT is baby wipes mixed with tissue, mixed with pads. PHT. So essentially, it's tissue that are baby wipes and pads all in one. Okay, I'm gonna read out a little bit of the details. A tissue brand that wipes with a soft, moist, wet texture and organic scenting that leaves a good smell for the butt and vaginal area. Plus comes wrapped in padding that is supposed to be used for pads in case a woman is on her menstrual cycle, made with the most advanced soak it up material. All materials are recyclable. Now, um, there's gonna be a male version, but right now, who gives a fuck about the men? This is for the women. This is the women's starter pack. The men will get theirs later, but right now our focus is on the women because the women spend money. Okay, the women are the ones that actually pay for shit. Okay, they buy shit, especially menstrual. Come on, man. Of course, this is money right here. Women spend a whole bunch of money on menstrual shit. I just found this out. I actually did a lot of research for this idea. Women spend like a lot of money on like menstrual and like clinic shit like every year. All right, anyway, so boom. So basically my idea, I'm going to just explain a little bit is what I want is a kind of material, right? That is dry when you touch it, but it has like a mechanism where if you apply a certain amount of pressure on your bum, it starts the moisture and like all of the scenting and everything, it basically turns into the baby wipe. Basically, when you apply a certain amount of pressure onto your bum when you're wiping your bum with the tissue, it turns into a baby wipe. It turns into a baby wipe. So the scenting, the moisture, everything starts coming out. Not only that, but then it comes with pads. Now, these are going to be pretty big toilet paper rolls. And the reason why I say that is because there's going to be a pad inside of the roll. There's going to be a pad um, outside of the roll that the tissue is wrapped around. And then there's going to be a pad that is kind of like the it's gonna basically holding the tissue together. So y'all know how like when you unravel tissue before you unravel it, it's like taped to the tissue and then you gotta untape it and then you unravel it. That's basically what the pad is gonna be. The pad is gonna be the unraveling. So it's gonna have plastic around it so it doesn't get dirty and stuff. Um, you could take the plastic off and basically um so yeah, basically you could unwrap it and you could use it as a pad because that is what is going to be intended for. There's going to be three pads in one tissue roll. I'm going to say this again. Also, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they come in 20 packs. So the tissues come in 20 packs. It's 20 pack tissues. And there's going to be three pads in each individual tissue roll. Okay, so three pads total in each individual tissue roll. That's why I said that these tissue rolls are going to be really big. They're going to be big. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to need some space, but you can find space. You know, women, put it in your closet, right? Stack it up, put in, maybe if you have a big ass pantry, you could put it in your pantry. If your bathroom closet is big, put it in your bathroom closet. Or you could just sit that motherfucker on the floor. It doesn't really matter. So, boom. So yeah, so basically on average it's going to be 20 packs, a 20 pack of tissue, and each tissue roll is going to have three pads in them. Okay? So I did some research. Okay? PHT did a little analyze AE. Okay? And I found out about women's cycles. I needed to find out some information to really understand not only women, but understand the economy and the prices and the amount of money that women spend, and how I can not only help women's menstrual and help women's cycles and, make things more affordable, but I can also be, like unique in a way. Like women don't have to, do too much to buy like things that they need, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm struggling to explain this a little bit. So anyway, so PHT. Women get 13 cycles every year, something I did not know. Women women's periods usually last about 5 days. Usually, women get their period once a month. On average, now I wrote some of those down. The reason why I wrote those down is because that's gonna go into what I'm about to explain to you guys. But hold on. On average, a box of pads costs $6. I searched this up. On average, it costs $6. 12 packs of pads, that's $6 equals $72 a year. So if you buy 12 packs, right? If you buy like one pack this month, one pack that month, $6 on average, that's $72 a year. Because women only get their cycles typically 13 times throughout the year. So you'll be buying a pack of pads 13 times for $6. 6 times 13, 72. Women spend $13 a month, right? $13 for $13. And these they gave me different like numbers for how much women spend. So, right, $6 a pass, $13 a month total. They also gave me 20. But I'm a go with the $6 one on average, just to be generous, and that's exactly what I did. But before we get to that, let's just read the rest of this. So boom, women spend $13 a month on average. Okay, $13 plus, I mean, $13 times 13, right? Period cycles is $169, right? Because $13 for 13, right? You spending $13 every month, you get your period 13 times throughout the year. So 13 times you spending $13. That is $169, right? So then, boom, women have 13 cycles on average. This is what I was talking about. Then they gave me a different number, the $20 one. So this is the one that I was saying that they gave me like two different ones. $20 a month per cycle. So it says here that women on average spend about $20 a month per cycle, right? Per cycle, 13 cycles. That's about $260 per year, right? $260 per year. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty wild. The average price of pads is $6. I had to write that down again because that's the one that I stuck with. Women use on average 20 pads per month, but pay $72 to $260 a year. The reason why I wrote that down is because when I heard that, I was like, I don't like that ratio. That's a bad ratio. That's kind of fucked. And then normal menstrual cycles range from 21 to 35 days, right? So about 15 to 20 days, about 15 to 20 pads in total a month, which it actually says on average women use about 20 pads a month. So here's where we get into the good shit. Here's where we get into my brand and why my brand is better than pads, right? Better than ultra thins, better than any pads you could really think of. Okay, my brand is gonna knock this shit out of the park, and I'm definitely gonna put a lot of motherfuckers out of business. So here goes my brand, PHT, ultra thins. Now, on average, pads cost $6, right? On average, ultra thins, a $6 pack or a box of pads of ultra thins, only 36 come in the pack. So, on average, if women are using 20 pads a month, 36 pads a month is not enough. You're going to need to re up because you're not going to have enough to hold you over, especially not going to have enough to hold you over into the next month. Okay? So, every month you're going to have to pay $6. So, $6 plus $6 is 12. That's just for 2 months. $6 plus $6 again for another 2 months is another 12. That equates to $24. Now here's my brand. My brand comes with 60 pads and a pack of 20 tissue. It could last you for 3 months. 60, right? 20, 20, 40, 60, right? It could last you for 3 months. You use 20 one month, use 20 another month, and use 20 another month. So on the fourth month, you'll pay $9 all over again. So then, boom, you pay $9 one time. It lasts you for 3 months. Fourth months come up, you pay $9 again. That's another 3 months. 6 months total. In 6 months total, My brand, you have paid only $18 in 6 months versus ultra thins in just 4 months you would have paid $24. In total, ultra thins buying $6 of pads equates to $78 a year. $78 a year. Plus, we didn't even talk about tax. With tax is probably almost $100 a year, right? So you feel me? 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 6. You get what I'm saying, because you pay $24 for 4 months, $24 for another 4 months for pads, then you pay another $24 for 4 months for pads. Then you got the 13th day, that's the last month, which would be $6. You add all that up, you get like 78. My brand, now here's the kicker with my brand. My brand in total, every year, you will be only paying $45. $45. You pay $9 one time, lasts you 3 months. $9 another time, lasts you 3 months. $9 another time, 3 months. $9 another time, 3 months. That equates to 13 months total. You will only be spending $18 throughout the 13. And so that will equate to $45 total, right? So with my brand, you'll be saving at least 30, 40 to maybe at max, right? If we include taxes, like 50, a little over dollars. You'll be saving at max like 50 something dollars. And you'll keep at least like 50 plus something dollars in your pocket that you can spend, and that you didn't have to spend on menstrual cycle stuff and clinic stuff. Okay? Then I also did some comparisons. I did some comparisons with my brand versus Ultra Thins and other pad brands. So spending $20 a month or $13 a month versus my brand spending only $9 every 3 months. On average, a pack or box of pads is $6 and comes with 36 pads total at most, right? Most of the time, right? Sometimes it's more. Well, actually, not really. I actually looked at the Ultra Thins and the pads, and it's actually more than $6. This is why I keep saying I was being generous, because I was looking at the pads. It's actually $8 to $9 just for like 36 pads. Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. Inflation and everything. Yeah, it's actually way more than $6 now. But I was being generous. Um, yeah. And that's on average. That's on average. Now on average it's like $8 to $9 versus my brand. Okay, so like I told you guys, on average it's like $8 to $9 for padding, but I use $6 for the average number just to be generous. So $6, right? You're paying for 36 pads in total at most. Versus my brand, on average, my tissue brand is $9 for 60 pads total. Again, $9 for 60 pads total. A $3 difference for more bang for your buck. Okay? Um Here's more. So PHT, right? PHT. Here's something else that I talked about. Now, the reason why I talked about this topic is because it sounds better than my brand. And so I wanted to actually compare the two to actually see which one comes out on top, and it was my brand. So you could go to Giant, right? And you could buy a cheaper pack of pads. You could buy like ultra thins for like for like $7 and like 30 something cents for like 44, right? 44 pads in a pack. And the reason why I wanted to talk about, that particular one versus my brand is because it kind of sounds better, right? It sounds like, oh, wait, hold on. Why should I buy your brand if I could just buy some ultra thins with 44 in a pack just for $7 when yours costs $9, right? I get it because it's 44 in a pack. That's enough. Women on average only use 20 pads, so you could use 20 one month, use 20 another month. Then you could just buy it again for $7, right? It's a lot cheaper and it lasts you for 2 months. Fuck the 3 months, right? You want what's cheaper, right? It sounds better, right? It's more of a deal, right? I get it, and it's ultra thins, right? You probably don't really know much about my brand. Maybe you're on a fritz about it, so you're not really that comfortable. You don't know if you really want to spend $9 on my brand, even if you think it is a better deal. But here's why you're wrong, and I'm gonna convince you why my brand is still better than this a quote unquote very attractive price of $7 for 44 in a pack. So I did basically a scenario. One woman likes ultra thins. She buys $7 of ultra thins that comes with 44 pads in a pack. She pays $7 one month, right? It lasts her for 2 months. She pays $7 one month. Then on the third month, she pays another $7, right? Because it lasts her for 2 months. Then after that, it lasts her another 2 months. Then she pays $7 again on the third month. Now in 6 months, she spent $21 in total. Now here's my brand. The other woman that's using my product, 60 in a pack. She pays $9 one month. It lasts her for 3 months total. So she pays $9 again on the fourth month. On the fourth month, right? That's another 3 months. Now in that time span of, in that time span of 6 months versus the other woman, she's only spent $18. So the woman that's using my product only spent $18 in 6 months, while the woman using the ultra thin $7 product has spent $21 in 6 months. So not only do you get more pads when you use my product, $60, 60 pads, right? You get 20 pads extra, but you also save more money and it's a lot cheaper in the long run. Now, this is the last and final, basically, this is the last and final thing that I want to talk about that basically proves that my brand is superior. And I think a lot of women should buy my brand. And I think when I do create this, if I do create, no, not if I do, I'm going to create it. I just need money. Like, I'm a poor nigga talking about making a brand called PHT, but fuck it. I get some funding, bro. I create this shit. But basically, this is the last thing that I want to say to convince women and convince all the women out there that struggling. And because I also searched it up, it's getting harder for women to afford pads. And there's like countries like Algeria that they're paying like $36 a month for menstrual products. What the fuck, y'all? I'm definitely going to take my brand PHT to these countries and places and vicinities and areas where women really need it, because I'll turn that $36 into like $9-10 real quick. Like, no, women in Algeria wouldn't be paying $36 anymore for pads, just $9.50. $9.50 women in Algeria will be paying, because I'll be having my businesses in Algeria as well. And women, all they need is $9.50, and they could get themselves 60 pads, and it could last them for 3 months. And all they got to do is pay $9 again for another, just one pack of 20. So yeah, we're gonna stop that shit for sure. But other than that, so yeah, I just want women to know that my brand is the brand that everybody should go to now. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And if nothing that I said convinced you yet, here's something that I think will. So there is a 36. There is, oh shit, my fault. I'm a little nervous, you guys. This first time me having a brand idea. All right, so boom. So you can buy a pack, 6 pack of pads, right? In total, 216 pads for $36. Now, a lot of women are like, oh well, if we can buy a 6 pack of pads for $36 with 216 pads in it, why would we need your brand? Here's why. My product. You can buy 4 packs. Listen to me carefully. Women, this is my product that we're talking about now. You can buy 4 packs of 20 in total of $36. I'm going to say it again. You can buy 4 packs of my 20 tissues with 60 pads in it for the same price that you would buy for ultra thins, and you will get 240 pads in total. I'm going to say it again. You can pay the same price that you would pay for some ultra thins and get 6 packs for 216 pads in total, that you can pay for my product and get 240 pads in total. Boom. How long have we been recording? Only 20 minutes? All right, bet. Boom. I don't want to record anymore because I actually want people to watch this video. I want people to actually ponder about it. I'm serious about this. This is not a lie. I'm dead ass. Like, guys, I'm dead ass. Like, I thought of this idea literally like when I was watching Mike Tyson. I thought of this idea. As a matter of fact, no, I'm lying. I thought of this idea when I was taking a shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I actually thought of this idea when I was taking a shit. When I was wiping my ass and I was looking at me wiping my ass, I was thinking, wait, what the fuck? I got an idea. And it just hit me. PHT. So anyway, basically it just means pH tissue. Yeah, I know, guys. Is it lame? I feel like it's fire. pH tissue. So yeah, so that's basically what it is. As a matter of fact, let me write this down. pH tissue. pH tissue. Um, Never mind, I can't write it. Oh, hold on. Let me go to text. pH tissue, guys. Hold on. So, yeah, that's the end of what I had to say. pH tissue. Oh, make that smaller. Make that smaller. All right, so guys, basically that's what I had to say. Um, yeah, so I just want you guys to really ponder. Like, please, like, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is a great fucking idea. Like, if I had to be honest with you guys, I think this is an amazing idea. pH tissue, I think, is gonna be the next big thing. Um, this is my brand. Um, I just wanted to share it with you guys and talk to you guys about it. So I could have basically a recording of it, so I could have proof and evidence. So if anybody ever tries to take my idea, or anybody tries to come up with the same exact idea, I could copyright the fuck out of that motherfucker. Um, you feel me? So other than that, this is my idea. I said it first. I did this first. I patent it. Hey, I patent it. This is my idea. Hey, bro, anybody that's watching this fucking video, I patent it. I patent it. I patent it. All right. Yeah. Bye.